Welcome to the We Don't Play podcast show today, Cameron. How are you?
I am great, Favor. Thank you for inviting me to your program. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm super excited that you're here because this topic is a big topic and I feel like it has two sides. When we hear the word massage, people think it's something that they do as a luxury, and on the other hand, some people think it's a recovery mechanism. So I would love for people to know about you, how you started, and how did you get into this amazing world of massage therapy?
Yes, thank you. Once again, my name is Cameron. I'm a New York State licensed massage therapist for the last 15 years. Now, how I got into this amazing field, it was through a job loss, actually, and I was kind of bored and didn't have anything to do. But I was kind of surviving on my savings. So I was enjoying the summer. I was like, forget about it. I got let go from my job in May. And I was like, you know what? I am going to enjoy the summer. So I was talking to a good friend of mine and we had a great conversation. He was like, Cameron, why don't you go into holistic? And I was like, holistic? Like, tell me about it. Tell me about the field. And he said, there's a school down by my house, not too far. It's a holistic university or college. It's actually a trade school. And they do massage and so forth. I said, hold on, wait a second. I am not getting into massage. I am not rubbing anybody's body. It's just not my thing. He said, no, hold on, just listen. They have acupuncture. So I said, oh, okay. I think I can stick needles in people. As long as there's no blood, I can stick needles in people. So I went on the website and I saw they had an open house, and then I decided to head down there and I went to the open house. I met a real nice lady. She was part of the admin. I still remember her name to this day. Her name was Mary. And during the open house, she said, why don't you get into the massage program? And I said, Mary, no, I'm not. I can't do massage. No, not interested. She said, no. Why don't you get into the massage program, do the 24 months, and then when you graduate, you'll get you sit for the state board, get your license, you come back to the school and you do the acupuncture program, and you sit for the state board, get your acupuncture license, and you have a great business right there, all under one roof. And my wheels was turning. I'm like, this sounds wonderful. Now, mind you, I had no work. I was desperate. I said, okay, I can do this. Well, 24 months later, they really beat you down in that school in a good way. I've learned the school was much harder than my undergrad, believe it or not. And they force you to study. Well, they don't force you to study. They let you know, like, if you don't study, you're not going to make it. So every week we had a quiz and then lead up to an exam. We had to show our teachers or our instructors different parts of the body, what part muscles innervate, what other muscles and so forth. And I said, wait a second, this is going to be a rough 24 months. I better hit the books. So make a long story short, I was able to graduate. I passed the state board on the first try. It's not an easy state board, believe it or not. It's not an easy exam. And when I looked at my final student loan bill, I said, it's no way I'm going back to school to become an acupuncturist. I cannot tap up on all these loans. No way. It's just not a quality of life. So I stuck with the massage program, and it was 1 year. I sat on it. The student loans are rolling in 6 months later. And I said, you know what? I need to go find work. So a lot of my colleagues was going out and working for chain massage companies like Massage Envy, Hand and Stones. And I was like, there's no way I want to work for one of those companies. I want to work for someone who's smaller, more knit, more personal. And I searched online and I found one lady who had a nice little spa in Hempstead, New York. And I sent her an email and she responded right away, said, hey, I need a massage therapist, come on down. And I went down for the interview. She hired me on the spot and I was working the next day. But then I wanted more. And I decided to bill on my own. So I started to work out of my home. And that went very well. But I started to feel a little bit like my personal space was being invaded. So I went back onto the website. My school actually have that's what I like about trade school. They send out, they don't just take your money and say, go out in the world. They stay in touch with you. They let you know who's hiring, who has a room to rent. And we work very closely with, massage therapists work very closely with chiropractors. We have a love relationship for each other because it works hand in hand. And, the universe must have been listening, because I got an email saying there was a gentleman, a chiropractor, maybe about 5 miles from my home, who was renting a room, and that was game over. I went over there, he saw me, he liked what I do, and we had a great relationship, and he rented me the room, and my business just took off to a point that I could not keep up with people. And he was feeding me customers, and I had my own marketing, and I had to hire someone. And then I hired another person that led to another person. And we had a little spa going there, but we were in a chiropractor environment, so it didn't really quite match. So I decided to go and search for another location. And this one was across the border from Queens into Nassau County, which was in New Hyde Park. And I met a gentleman who was sharing his floor of his business, and he gave me 2 rooms, and the business just exploded once again, to a point that we were turning people away left and right. I mean, we had great therapists. People were coming to us, they were getting results. But the problem was we were on the 2nd floor, and we were kind of hidden, because most New Yorkers don't look up. If you kind of sit in your car and watch people, it could be an airplane passing over, something going on in the sky, they don't look up. So we would get missed by a lot of people who live in the community. So now I decided to get a ground floor, and I went canvassing the area, and I found a really nice place. It was all 4 walls. When the landlord opened up the door, I said, this is it. I just knew this was it. And I told him, yes, let's get the lease going. And I built out the place. And this is how we end up in beautiful Floral Park with 5 rooms. We have 9 therapists, 1 esthetician, and we're still pounding them out, man. We have a great monthly membership, and we have amazing customers that come in every month. People are still telling me if it wasn't for us, they don't know where they will be, because they can't take all these drugs, they're in chronic pain, or they're stressed out, and we have truly, truly helped them out. So that's how I got started. I know it's a little bit long. That's how I got started. But just hearing from the customers, the clients, and the staff, how much we've made a difference in their life is what keeps me going.
Wow. I feel like I just sat through a masterclass of business, because one thing that I took from what you said is the relationship. Because if you didn't have that relationship that you built, it wouldn't have amounted to the connections you'd have built because of the referrals and the trust. How important is those, let me say it this way, how important are, let me just rephrase it, those specific key factors, not even just the business, but the relationship aspect, consumer, producer, investor, and otherwise?
Yeah, great question. In the massage industry, we're kind of plagued by a lot of negative connotation and so forth, and we have to try to, decimate a lot of that stuff. And by being professional helps. The way you answer the phone, the way you greet the clients when they come in. And people are coming in, they don't know you. And then mind you, on the strip that we are located, there are a lot of other unlicensed locations run by the Asians and so forth, and we have to kind of let the clients know that we're above that grade. So when they come in, we're well trained, we have uniforms on, or we're wearing our scrubs, the name plates, the name badges, and they come in and they see the place is well decorated, the ambiance is very nice, the therapist greets them professionally. We call them by their name. They fill out an intake. So now they feel like, okay, yes, this is it. This is the creme de la creme. And they go into the room. The therapist takes the time to read the intake and ask them, hey, what's going on with you? Why are you here? And then they come up with a formal plan for treatment. Now, when people are coming into your establishment, they don't know you, they don't really trust you, but they're taking that opportunity, taking that chance with you because maybe someone recommended them, or they saw your sign, or they saw your Google website, your Google profile, or your website. You pop up in their search. So they're taking a chance with you because they're also reading all your wonderful. When people leave reviews, so they're reading all that stuff. So when they come in, they say, okay, hopefully I can get what I'm reading. And the trust factor begins to build because once you come in, we greet you. You have, reception area where you can enjoy a tea or some Biscoff cookies or whatever it is. And we talk to you. So we help them to decimate that non-trust factor. So that's how building the relationship is so important. Even starting with the telephone call when they call in, hey, I'm looking to book a Swedish massage or facial. Can you tell me more?
That's a very unique way of communicating with them, because I've had that experience myself when I go to the spa or I go to a massage, therapy location, and I'm looking for that experience, and I don't know what to expect because, like you said, people are literally like at your mercy. So if anything happens, I don't know. So people have those speculations. They're like, no, I don't like you and people don't touch me. I don't know this person. How does someone that wants this support, like the way you go to a doctor when you need help, you don't know the doctor, but you need support. How do you translate that to someone that needs help with their feet or help with their back, and they don't know that, but the problem is they don't have that social connection. They don't know how to do that because they're more of an introvert.
Yeah, well, like I said before, it starts with the phone call, the initial phone call, and a lot of people are researching, they're reading reviews. That's why I always find having a website or some type of a social media that shows what you're doing, because people want to know, hey, what's going on? We live in a digital age now that you can put videos out and podcasts like we're on, and people are slowly checking you out, because I do it. Before I go visit an establishment, I start checking you out, see what's going on over there, and maybe reading a few reviews. I even go for some of the bad reviews, which doesn't deter me, because if I see you have 100 positive reviews and 4 bad reviews, yes, I'm going to read the bad reviews, but those bad reviews is not going to be the one that's going to stop me from going to see you, because you come to realize not everyone you can please. So it starts with the phone call, then they come in, starts with the intake, and the therapist introduce themselves. So now you're setting that relationship, you're kind of decimating that trust factor, so where they can start trusting you and they can start to relax. So they come in and they smell the lemongrass in the air, they hear the soft music in the background, they got the robes. So now they're starting to relax. And even if they were sent by a friend who, like some people tell me, hey, I sent an uncle there or I sent a friend there, and they're so critical. I was so terrified that they were going to trash your place. And then when I called them up and they were raving about the experience, I said, wow, this person is such a difficult person to please. And they went to Somatic Massage Therapy located in Jericho Turnpike, and we wowed them. So they know that they also can let their hair down, they can send anyone to us, because if they're skeptical, if they're touchy with their body, whatever it is, everything is professional. They'll be able to relax and enjoy what they paid for.
I love that. Tell us a little bit also about your packages, because you have holiday packages all around in the year. How do people prepare for them? How do they know what they need to prepare for so that they don't miss out? Oh, I didn't know it was Memorial Day, or I didn't know it was 4th of July, or Mother's Day, or Christmas. How do they get prepared for those things so that they're also aware locally?
Well, great question again. We live in times where people are extremely busy. Like I tell my staff, hey, listen, You know, sometimes when a client walks out the door, they completely forget all about us. Why? Because they're worried about what's for dinner. Gotta go pick the kids up. I gotta go and finish this report, whatever it is. So we're all so busy. But what we have to do is capture the information, even when they fill out the intake form, be it through their cell phone or on our iPad when they're sitting there. We ask for their email address. And once they give us permission, we'll put them in our email folder. And according to the service, we'll segment that. And then we'll send them we send out our emails on the 1st or the 15th of the month. We send it on the 1st and then a reminder on the 15th. We don't like to spam because they get so much emails, it becomes overwhelming. So we just kind of say, hey, we're still here. If you want to get on our text line, we can send you a reminder text, because texting is like the number one now, besides email. It's been proven that people will read their text faster than they read their email. So we'll send out those packages to the client, say Mother's Day is now coming up.
How do you treat different services like couples, Swedish, Mother's Day, pregnant women, especially now, like we're getting to Mother's Day? How does that work?
Well, we usually theme out our spa for every event coming up. We will put a package together that we know mom will like. We know moms are very special. So we want them to get the best that's out there, be it a spa, be it taking them out to eat, whatever it is. So when mom comes in, we're gonna definitely put a package together for a 50-minute anti-aging facial, followed by a 60-minute Swedish massage, and then maybe a sugar foot scrub, exfoliation, or a body scrub. Sometimes they may want a lymphatic drainage. Now, what lymphatic drainage is for people who maybe want some type of to detox your system, or they experience some type of a swelling that they just need to get their system going, or they're on a lot of medication, they just need to get their lymph system going again. If someone comes in couples, they get the husband and wife, friend on friend, doesn't matter who it is, they're in the same room, same service, they're getting massages, followed by a facial, or just a 60 or 90-minute massage. If a single person comes in, they will just get the 60 or 90-minute massage. If they want to do an add-on, be it a hand paraffin, a sugar foot scrub, there's a steam therapy, hot stones, we'll add that on. And so those are what, when couples come in or single people come in, we will package stuff for them, or they will actually go on our website and see what they want. Or if nothing fits them, they will call in and let us know, hey, can you put this together for me? And we're not that cookie cutter business. We always work with our clientele, because it's them who's keeping our lights on, and it's them who we're working for. They're the boss. So we give them what they're looking for.
I love that. Exactly, because they're coming in to receive an experience. And that's really where the difference lies, because when someone comes for the first time and they like you, they're going to stay. If there's one thing that you would let someone know about Somatic, even the word behind it, the concepts and the story behind it, what would that be, so that they can always remember the brand and also keep that in mind?
Well, when I was trying to name the company, I went through one of those, those legal pads you get from Staples. I went through about 4 pages of names, and every one of them, the attorney said, no, 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 no. So I said, you know what, put it out in the universe, put the pad down, go do something else, it's gonna come. And then I was reading a magazine, one of the industry magazine, and the name Somatic came up, and I said, bingo. And I said, wait a second, what does somatic means? And I looked it up, and somatic is Greek for body. So I said, this is a perfect fit. So originally we had Somatic Massage Therapy. But then when we brought in our esthetician, I said, no, well, it's not just massage. We're doing skincare and all this other stuff. So we have to put and spa, so to include the esthetician. And like you mentioned earlier, There's a lot of spas, just about 177 spas on Long Island. And so the competition is very swift. You can go to any spa and get exactly what we're given. But what our main goal is, like you mentioned before, is to give the client an experience that when they leave, they will never forget us. Or sometimes when they come to the desk, they're, wow, wow, wow. I'm like, you okay? Say, oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. I'm like, wow, it reminds you like you have really great service. So there's the experience is what we're selling. And they love it so much that they ask, is there any other packages? So I said, well, let me let you know about our monthly membership, which is very affordable, $85 a month, bill once a month. So they end up joining the membership. We have a great membership base, which is still growing. People, when they leave Somatic, they want to know that they're either on the membership, they join the membership, or they're on our email list because they want to continue to get all our specialists. And we don't want them to forget about us when they leave.
Wow. I love the connection. Somatic, let me say it this way, the fundamental point of the Greek word, because you said that too, and I was like, yeah, this is different. Soma is body in Greek. And I know in Swahili, soma, when you hear the word soma, it means to read. So I'm like, I'm just picturing everything in between, and I'm like, this is very nice. So I love that, and that's really what keeps people connected to the brand, because of the meaning and the intention behind it. So I really appreciate you for giving us that feedback.
Absolutely. We base our service on results. So my staff, they know when a customer comes in that it's important to read the intake, get to know the client, see why they're there, and produce the results. And this is why the clients keep coming back, because it's not just the cookie cutter, go get your face done, go to a one of those chain massage spas that just pumps you in, pumps you out, So we try to produce results. And we've been very successful at that. And that's why we are growing continuously. And we even get invited to schools. We have a large clientele of teachers and a large clientele of RNs. And we get invited to a lot of schools to do chair massages. Even some businesses who are doing soft openings, they will invite us in to help their staff de-stress. One of the things I learned a while back is when a young lady walked into the spa, and she said, I'm looking for a reliable massage business to come into the New York schools and help us with our teachers, because New York City has a 20% no return rate. That's very high, and that's very alarming. That means after the first semester, most teachers don't return because they're incredibly stressed out. So it brought us in, and we were able to help them out, and it's still going strong to this day.
Wow. I'm so happy that we got to talk about this, and I feel like now somebody feels more enlightened, because when somebody comes in, I'm just thinking about the person that comes into New York and flies in and wants to have a massage. Somatic Massage is a place they should first go to,
Right. And then, we're on the border of Queens, Eastern Queens and Western Long Island. Literally, once you go out the door, you make a right turn, you're in Queens, you go left, you're in Nassau County. So we have buses that come to us, the Long Island Railroad just down the block. You could take an Uber. It's located on 113 Jericho Turnpike. So it's very easily accessible, and we have free parking. One second. We have free parking, and it's just the right place to be.
I believe that, and I think that's the best way to start building business connections and getting the best experience, because now you know where to go. If I come to New York, I know where I'm going because
Right.
You know, like, because you want to know where you want to go. Like, when you go to Paris, you want to go to the Eiffel Tower. You know what I mean? It definitely makes sense. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cameron. You've been a blessing to us. I know people want to connect with you and say, okay, I want to sign up if I'm in the area. Where do I go? How do I get in contact? How do I book with you?
Yes, definitely. You can always go on our website, somaticmassagepc.com. You can text the spa, 516-447-4373, or call us for direct appointment, 516-686-9557. And those are ways to get in touch with us.
I love that. Thank you so much for being with us today on the show, on the We Don't Play podcast show, the marketing SEO show, and you've definitely given us something to think about and learn. So I appreciate you again, and looking forward to bringing you back on the We Don't Play podcast show very soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Welcome.